Are you going to put, moving forward, I know you put that little post about what we, obviously when we turned the sofa around and did it, are you going to put that at the start of each episode now?
I was thinking so, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
That's the whole plan.
Welcome to our podcast, The Living Room Chat with Ryan and Matt.
So I'm Ryan, he's Matt. We're two self-employed estate agents working out of the Reading area in Berkshire.
This podcast is lifting the lid on the trials and tribulations of being an estate agent.
So have a listen, follow along, fire us over your questions, but for now, let's dive into the episode. Welcome back to the Living Room Chat podcast with myself, Ryan, and this guy, Matthew. Or was it Matt?
Yeah. Matthew, Matt, whichever.
I never call you Matthew, it sounds really weird.
Yeah, as I get older, I'm more okay with Matthew. When I was younger, I was like, no, I want to be Matt.
Do you have different names for different clients? Like, if you're meeting someone who's similar, you just Matt. If someone's quite like posh or bigger house, you're like, oh, hello, I'm Matthew.
I've never done that. Maybe I should do that. I do pronounce my T's more, Matta.
Matta.
Because sometimes people think I say Max, and then it's this whole thing. And Anyway,
good stuff. Right,
cool.
Episode 17. I really enjoyed the last episode. Obviously, had a month off, and now we're back 8 days later. And back in the swing of it straight away.
Back in the swing of it, yeah. We still got to do 40 episodes, so I haven't done the maths on how many weeks we have left.
Do you know what? I listened back to our other episode because I was sad and did that. And I know I said 35 months left. 35 weeks left of the year. I've been meaning to check. I've actually had no idea. It must be about right though. I
feel like the last episode we were like raw and honest, like disclosing our
financials,
first year,
our tears, our fears, everything.
Yeah.
It's a mosh.
So let's
not do that again.
Well, when I was editing it, I was like, do I want this to be out there in the world? But then I thought, fuck it.
But that's the whole idea of this. It's to get our personality out to the world. People can see us. Like we're estate agents, but everything our business is geared around doing now is different. We've taken the estate agency rule book and thrown it out the window and started from scratch. So actually, it is about us. We are the brand. I'm Barrell and Ryan Bloomfield. Your brand, Matt or Matthew Barrell. Matthew Barrell, rather than Matt Barrell.
I've tricked Sophie up until very recently that my proper pronunciation is Barrell.
Yeah.
And so she's been going around saying, "Oh no, it's not Barrell, it's Barrell." And like,
really, it's just
my girlfriend of 6 years.
Barrell, 2 L's. Anyway, let's dive into estate agency chat. So we've got a couple of topics. Mm-hmm. I like the fact, I know when we started the podcast, we would script certain things, not to say script, it was all off the cuff, but we had actual written down things we we're going to do. I like the fact that we can just go and just talk from the heart.
That's it.
And knowledge.
That's it.
But I know one thing we're keen to discuss, and it's a common topic that comes up, especially with buyers, because there's so much research they can do, there's so much media coverage, there's so much headlines of, you have 17th of April saying, oh, house prices have dropped 10%. 18th of April, house prices are up 10%. And where the hell do they get these figures from? Yeah. So I thought you wanted to dive a little bit and talk a bit more about that.
I saw, I think data came out a couple of days ago from the Office of National Statistics about house prices dropping in, it was February or March. I don't know what the lag is on that data, but this is the data from the official sales which have closed and gone through.
Yeah.
And it just got me thinking about how misleading property data can be, because there's always a lag.
Absolutely.
From the day a sale's agreed or from the day a property goes on the market to the day it completes. And then even once it completes, then the data has to be published and all of that stuff.
I think it's in a boring, we all like boring, stable market.
Yeah.
It can be quite useful because it's pretty factual information. But from what we've just gone through since the last 3 years, with the change in the marketplace, from the boom times of late 2020, 2021 and half of 2022 to the last 6 months we've had where prices have dropped, the data is so out of whack. And this is what I say this to sellers all the time. They say, well, that one completed last month and sold for 330 grand. I was like, yeah, that's cool, but we don't know when that sale was agreed. Like, that could have been agreed in end of September when the market was the highest point it possibly could be.
Yeah.
And by the time that transaction goes through, 3 months, that's December, January time, then it takes 3 months to upload onto land registry, or the solicitors have 3 months to upload it onto land registry. We're talking 6 months difference. In the 6 months, that market's dropped.
Yeah.
So you can't really talk about it.
And like things turned so quickly last September after the mini budget that the data just couldn't keep up with the change in real time.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Office for National Statistics, the same prices have gone down in February. I think Nationwide said they went down, but Halifax said they went up.
Yeah.
If you're a buyer or a seller, you know, naturally you're just going to latch on to the data which suits your point.
Yeah. It's interesting because, again, it's how, and I think you touched on that point there, how that data is got and analysed and where it's come from. So there's, you know, for example, some lenders, I know Halifax is generally pretty good, but there's some lenders where they'll release a statement saying house prices are up 6% month on month. What they're actually looking at is the average loan or average value of the property they've set mortgages for on application. But we all know as estate agents that basically a third of transactions don't go through.
Yeah.
And how many people don't get their mortgage and have to reapply. So by basing data of house prices going up on the fact that you've processed a mortgage application is stupid. Like it's beyond ridiculous.
Yeah.
The only thing you can look at is completed house sale prices and then look at the month and where things are.
Yeah, exactly. But of course with a completed number, it's not even 3 months after, it's at least 4 probably
6,
5 or 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, half a year, and a lot changes in half a year.
How many times per week on a viewing do you hear someone say, well, why is the price priced as it is? Because obviously Zoopla says it's worth this much.
Yeah.
How many times do you hear that?
The last few months, it's been pretty constant of buyers saying, oh, well, house prices are dropping, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, well, house prices have already dropped.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And then, of course, all of the articles are sort of, to be fair, I feel like it's calmed down a little bit now.
Yeah.
But certainly the last 6 months, I just feel like there's been a huge, like, it's going to crash 30%. No, it's going to be fine. And obviously the truth is always somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. I always say to people when they quote Zoopla prices to me, I always say this exactly. It probably comes across a little bit rude, but that's me. I'll be like, I'd say, do you know exactly how the Zoopla algorithm works? And everyone will go, well, no. I was like, neither do I. So why the fuck are you looking at it?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it's basing that on.
No.
They say, look at what's on the market currently today for sale and under offer. That is a true gauge of where the market should be.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. So just be wary of house price statistics.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree.
And
don't base your decisions off what you read online. Like when you buy a house, do your research. Okay, use all the data that's available. Look at what's on the market. Look what's comparable, and then base your decision on that and how much you like it and how long you're going to live there and how much your mortgage is going to be. Don't worry if a house is on at 330 and Zoopla says it's worth 300. Fuck Zoopla.
And also remember that your individual purchase is an individual purchase.
Yeah.
So the general trend of the market can be that it's going up, but you could be buying from Mr. and Mrs. Smith who are getting a divorce and they've just had their sale fall through and they
need a desperate sale. Yeah.
So the Halifax index can say prices have gone up 10% month on month, but your individual purchase, you could get it less and buck the trend. So
interesting.
It's all about the individual circumstances, right?
Absolutely, totally agree. Hopefully that clears up for everyone what the price issues are. Don't read it.
We're always media bashing, aren't we? And
but quite rightly so, because obviously the media is there to sell stories, and sell news, and I've talked about it a lot. I think I did it in my last update about the statistic was highest annual price fall since the recession in 2008.
Yeah, and
the headline said, you know, house prices drop over 3% year on year. That was one part of one end of Scotland in the UK. But if you took that over, like the southeast, for example, was 1.1% change. It still dropped, don't get me wrong, but it's not as doom and gloom as it came out. Like, how many times do you scroll through Sky News or BBC News, other news providers are available, and read the headlines and jump into the story because of the headline and go, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, it's only since being in property and being in the trenches and understanding what's happening day by day and then seeing the news and how it's portrayed.
It makes you angry, doesn't it?
Well, it's just so obvious how misleading it is.
Which is why I feel the content we put out as avocado partners, allowing people to understand what's happening with mortgage rates, allowing people to understand what's happening exactly with house prices. We're not doing it to promote ourselves. Disclaimer, yes we are. Second disclaimer.
Cool.
We're actually doing it to generally help the public. That is the sole goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And just to what do they call it? It's not debug.
Debunked.
Debunked.
Is it?
Yeah, debunk
The myth.
The myth.
Deconstruct the myth.
Deconstruct.
Let's go with that one.
Anyway,
I've got another story, and it's about persistence, and in particular social media. I'm sure, like most people, you get lots of messages from various companies offering services, whether that be through sponsored ads or actual DMs into the Facebook Messenger. So I have a lot of people trying to sell me valuation leads. That's cool. I'm well aware of you've got something you do in prop tech, and that's cool. I feel like what we do, we've got our own device, and I don't need to pay anyone else to do that.
Is the word prop relevant there?
No, this actually got no relevance to the point I'm going to make.
Right.
There's another guy who friended me on Facebook, I would say about 2.5 years ago. And I'll count it back. He sent me 26 messages over 2.5 years. He's a fitness guy, and he works in the fitness industry. And I don't know him, I don't know anything about him. I've tried to look at his website, it looked all a bit fishy, so I've just ignored him. And he messaged me again yesterday afternoon, evening about 9 o'clock, and I was just on my phone and I thought, do you know what? Fair play. So I wrote back to him, I really appreciate your persistence. I'd love a free copy of your 1.5-hour plan to get yourself in shape for the next 4 weeks. And he's like, cheers, Ryan, here's the link. I haven't touched the link because I don't know if it's a scam. But it just goes on, it took me back to thinking about how many times we contact clients as estate agents.
Yeah.
Because when I was on the high street, you'd call someone every 6 months. Hi, you looking to move? No, I'm not. Great, I'll call you 6 months. Bang. Does that annoy people? Or if you make that call every 6 months, in 5 years' time, right, we're actually going to sell. Who's that fucking estate agent that keeps calling?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy from that company. Let's go to them.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there's validity in that process?
I do, yeah. I think what we're doing is sales, and it's that persistence. What's they say, like, for every 99 no's you get one yes, you keep on knocking and all of that stuff, which is really annoying because I just want everyone to come to me and sign up with me.
Yeah,
but that's not the reality.
And you want every single contact that you either get through your media or your marketing or your contacts, whatever happens, you want them to be instant business.
Yeah.
And the reality is very, very few of them are.
Yeah, for sure. And
it's about the journey you take one after that, isn't it?
And it kind of makes me think about something I've been thinking to myself recently about celebrating my exchanges more. Mm-hmm. Not that I've had masses of them recently, but so few of my interactions with people actually lead to a commission.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
Because, for every 2 appointments you'll go on, that will lead to maybe 1 listing, and then not every listing sells.
Yeah.
So actually celebrating the exchanges more. But to your point, I think, being persistent.
I think it's key in any walk of life. There's a fine line between being harassing someone or being persistent. And this dude on Facebook, I'd get a message probably sometimes it'd be 2 months, sometimes it'd be 3 months. And it wasn't offensive. It was like, hey man, hi, he actually said, hi Ryan. So he's clearly going on and doing individual messaging. Hi Ryan, just put this together. Would you be interested? Let me know. And I wouldn't respond. And the next message would be, hi Ryan, not sure if you saw my message before, but I've just done this now. Would you like to get involved?
I think it's, online you hear a lot of talk about providing value.
Yeah.
Provide value up front.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's exactly what he's doing. But then there's so many people out on social media saying that's what you should be doing. So clearly it works. The way people buy stuff has changed massively, isn't it?
Well, what I'm trying to do with my market updates is just give a very easy to watch summary of what's going on.
Yeah.
And I want to try and leverage those better to send to people like that guy did.
Yeah.
It's
a good option, isn't it? Absolutely. Anything else you've got that in the property world that you wanted to talk about? I've got another topic.
You have?
Yeah, but it's your guys.
No, I can't think of anything. Got lots of bits going on, but nothing we're putting on the pod right now.
Not yet. Yeah, watch this space though. Eh?
Yeah.
Cool. It was. I don't know if you've seen the WhatsApp group this morning about that screenshot from, I think, an agent was being taken out on door knocking training.
Yes.
Do you know what? It just sums up estate agents in one fell swoop.
What, like the fact you do door knocking training
and
in
the
an
fact
office?
you need to train for it. Like, I hate door knocking. I did it for quite a lot of my career to generate business. Yes, it had wins, but for what it caused, I just don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't know what your opinion was on it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I just think it's I think it's old school estate agency. But all of that, I mean, they're literally just writing our ammo for us in terms of what we do, because we're all about being personal. Like, personal, your friend next door, your mate that sells your house for you. That's kind of our vibe. That's family run business, morals at heart. I wouldn't go and knock on someone's door to try and generate business, especially if they're on the market with someone else, because they've made their decision. Like, if they want to come to us, they come to us.
I don't feel, especially in a world where we have, social media and ads and ways to get out there.
So many better ways of doing it.
Although I don't, if people want to door knock, the funny thing is, though, it's not something you can really train for, is it?
No. You're either good speaking to people or you're not good at speaking to people.
Yeah. And
you can't train someone to do that.
And if you knock on a door and there's a Rottweiler and an old bloke telling you to fuck off, you're not turning that into an instruction.
See, we were taught a certain way of doing things was you'd knock on someone's door and you'd say, just doing a view around the corner of the house, a second viewing. They wanted to view yours, but haven't heard back from the estate agent, so I just wanted to see if we could possibly arrange a viewing for you. That's literally how we were taught to do it.
So that was the training, to just lie. And
basically, mislead. Oh, just do a view around the corner. Saw you in the market. Can I help at all? Can I get your name and number and I'll keep in touch?
And it's completely plausible. So the owner of that house would have no idea.
And nothing against home owners and sellers, but if you don't work in the industry, you aren't clued up to these certain things. How many times we feel like people have been misled? They haven't. They just didn't know they were being misled. And it's exactly the same principle. People will be like, what? He's called my estate agent and they haven't called him back. I'll be right on the phone.
Yeah.
How many times you can hear people say things to you that maybe a little disgruntled or haven't got the interest they want.
Yeah.
You can hear things they say and I was like, hang on, are you reading an email from another estate agent? Because that does not sound like you. You've clearly got some other alternative someone napping in your ear.
Well, and that's the bullshit, isn't it? Again, it's like an agent knocking on someone's door and saying, I've tried to get hold of you through your agent and they're not replying. So that's a lie. You're making the agent that they've chosen look bad, even though they haven't done anything wrong.
But then all it takes is that in their mind, even if they don't believe the estate agent, they've sown a seed, because the next time they don't call to book a viewing, or next time they forget to give feedback, or don't leave a light on in the house, or don't lock the front door, all these little cumulative things add up. And that's where issues cause, because then the lack of communication comes in. You then call to speak to the manager, he's on the phone, you don't get called back to the next day. It's this vicious cycle of poxy, bad estate agency.
Yeah.
Which is why you self-employed estate agents who care about what they're doing and are there every step of the way. I'm not just saying avocado, there's some fantastic companies out there now. And that's the way forward, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And I think also because our reputation's on the line, wouldn't take many silly little tricks like that and get caught out before, you get a few bad reviews and all of a sudden your reputation's tarnished online.
Yeah, exactly that. It's it's an interesting one. I thought we'd bring it up though because it's quite funny.
Yeah, I think it's a good point though, and I think a lot about how I don't think estate agents realise how much their words kind of stay with people sometimes. I think we're so used to talking to so many different people, talking about the market, and it was when my granny moved home a couple of years ago, and she was referring to something an estate agent said 25 years ago when she last moved.
Yeah.
And it was something like, oh, well, the estate agent said they had lots of interest in that house. And I just thought, like, what
are you on about?
She had no idea if there was, loads of interest. That could have been some junior negotiator saying, lots of interest. But that stuck with her for 25 years.
Yeah.
As like, oh, the nice estate agent in the suit said this. Yeah. So it must be true.
Yeah. Really, I don't know why people give so much credit, because like half the things that come out of mouths of estate agents is not true. But I make a thing of this now, like when I finish a valuation, if it don't come on the market there and then, I'll say, look, this is how we do things. I'm going to send you the valuation report. I'm going to give you a call next week. Answer any other questions you got. Let me know. Drop me a WhatsApp. I said, if they've had other agents, I said, you will get a call this week from the other estate agent telling you they've got 3 or 4 viewings for you. Can you bring them round? Okay. They will say that, and they'll come around and get contract signed, and then you're with them. Okay. Entirely up to you if that's what you want to do. I will get viewings for you with the exposure, but I'm not that guy. I'm not going to call them. I'm not going to call you and say I've got people straight away, because
fake viewings. Yeah,
it'll be a lie. I can get viewings for you, but why do you need to know? You know I can get viewings for you. And then I've had it a couple of times in the last, I'd say probably twice in the last 2 months, where I've gone around to do take on, and they've said, oh, funny enough, Ryan, you said about that agent calling. I was like, yeah. They said they literally did that. So you came out on the Tuesday, and on the Thursday they called me, said they had 3 viewings for Saturday. Yeah. And I just instantly thought, they're lying.
Yeah.
I was like, they probably were. And they probably would have got 3 viewings for you. They wouldn't have been any good. They wouldn't have want to seen it. And then you signed up with them for 3 months and you're off.
Yeah, it's just...
the old tricks.
It's again, like, who wouldn't want to believe that? Oh my God, I saw someone on a Tuesday. They've worked for me for free on the Wednesday, and they've got me these viewings now for the weekend. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. All I need to do is sign this contract, and they're going to get sold for me.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to believe that?
And even if we used to get my old business, like we used to get like one-off contract signed. So can I have a contract for 1 viewing?
Right. Okay.
And it'd be no agreement length, fees set. I said, if this person buys it, this is the fee. It's 1 viewing. There's no other. You have no other affiliation with us at all.
Okay.
And all you have to do is get 1 viewing, and go and do the viewing yourself. Call them straight away. Give them feedback the next day, and they say, "I'm sorry, that one hasn't worked out. I have actually got a couple more though. I mean, do you want to go ahead?" And you're so much ahead of the other estate agents then.
Yeah.
And sometimes it come off. Sometimes you would sell it.
Yeah.
Which is just that, I would call that good estate agency.
Yeah, I was just thinking, is that wrong, or is that's kind of like offering to work for free in advance, isn't it?
Yeah. But then I like our blueprint of what we do in terms of how we market properties, with the social media things first, the coming soon videos, and then the full launch at the right price with the video to get like a block viewing booked in. It just works well.
And people always ask, oh, do you have buyers waiting? Do you have a database? Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, every agent will have a database of buyers, but someone who's looking for a house 1 week will find a house the next week. Yeah. So it's kind of... And
we talked about in a previous episode, didn't we? Like, clients aren't just sat by the phone waiting for estate agent X to call them. Oh, is he going to call? Is he going to call? What's she going to call? Yeah.
There was a seller who didn't list for me a couple of months ago for a flat in town. And we were talking, and they said, oh, well, we really like the agent we bought through, and they told us we have investors waiting, so we're going to go on with them. And I thought, okay,
cool, yeah,
investors waiting. Yeah, and investors with all of this money, they just sat on this pile of cash waiting for. Yeah,
no, they're not. They're sat in a big chair at the bank, just staring at their safe, going, "They're going to call in a minute. They're going to call me."
I saw this flat come on for a price just way above where it needed to be, and it was chopped down in quick succession, and then it was sold. But they'd have been tied into a 12-week contract.
And that's the thing. It's like you always say investors. The common misconception of investors is they always try and knock you down on price and buy below market value. They don't. If the numbers work, they work. If they don't, they don't. They're not being rude or trying to make it difficult. If the figures stack up at 175, they'll pay 175, regardless of what it's on the market for. If they don't, they won't.
But no one talks about the fact that the number one way investors make money in property is buying distressed sales.
Yes. Yeah.
No one talks about this.
Below market value.
Yeah.
Quick refurb, refinance, pull out 40 grand, go again.
So like, how many people, both of us, could pick up the phone and sell a house immediately if it was
If it was the right price.
If it was the right price. Yeah.
I've got 4 or 5 solid investors in my phone book that have got enough money to buy cash. If I called them and said, look, I've got this opportunity, this is your profit margin, this is the opportunity here, are you interested? They'd be like, yep, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, like I know a guy who's like, anything that's a 10% yield in the south of England, 10% yield, whatever it is, residential, commercial, whatever, I'll buy it, 10% yield.
Yeah. And there are people like that around, so
yeah.
All interesting, all good time.
I think I sent you the screenshot yesterday, one of my sellers listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
Which was, I thought quite cool.
Yeah.
My immediate reaction was like, shit. What have I said on these podcasts?
What did they said something about what we'd said though, right? Like
yeah.
Something about leases, wasn't it?
I think we were talking
ground rents.
About searches.
Yeah.
About the sellers applying for searches up front or something.
That was a little while ago, wasn't it?
Could have been. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, we've got hours now of content out there.
Yeah, I know.
But that's cool. The pod's getting out there.
No, it is. Absolutely. I think it's good. We just need to push a little bit more on the old YouTube shorts just to get it out to a wider audience, because it's not, although we're based here, it's not about locally, is it? So we've got another, must have one more topic. Let's just think of another topic.
Well, I'm curious to know, how did you enjoy your Pop-Tart I just made for you before we started recording?
Is that the last topic?
I couldn't believe you never had a Pop-Tart before.
Never had a Pop-Tart.
I know they're a bit of an American thing, but...
So you come back from America and now you're all Pop-Tarted up, like, right?
Well, I hadn't had one in ages and they were just staring at me on the supermarket shelf.
Do you not have any in America?
No.
My brother's in America at the moment.
Is he?
He's in San Francisco.
Nice.
Yeah. He's there for a week and then they fly to Hawaii. How the other half live, eh?
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So is he...
He's not in property, I tell you that for nothing.
Is he sightseeing in San Fran? Or
so he's got a work award in Hawaii. So basically it's a works event in Hawaii. So him and his wife have gone out. But they thought, rather than travelling all that way for a week, why don't they just book a week in San Francisco first, do some sightseeing, and then go down to Hawaii and party.
Nice.
So they got 2 weeks. So fair play to him. That's awesome. I'm chuffed for him.
I'm still got the holiday blues from coming back from Los Angeles.
So I still haven't even booked a holiday this year.
Got to do it, mate.
I know I need a holiday, but I need to work hard more, because work hard now, holiday in later life.
It's hard as well trying to balance it in, because you could book a holiday now in April for August.
Yeah.
You don't know what business you're going to have.
Yeah, you don't know how busy you're going to be. And the thing is, it doesn't matter how busy you are or you're not, leading up to a holiday, you always go crazy busy.
Yeah.
Because you know you haven't got, I could just do that Monday, because you know you won't be here. I mean, I suppose you can take your laptop or your iPad and do it from overseas, but it's still not the same, is it?
Well, there was one night in LA, I had to stay up until 12:30 at night. Ooh. Crazy,
mate, yeah. 2.5 hours after your bedtime.
Which was 8:30 in the morning here, just so I could make a call to a surveyor.
Right.
And there's little things like that, you know.
To say that I'm not in the country, mate, so you can't go around.
Yeah, it was some just bullshit situation that turned out not to matter anyway. But
cool. Fair enough.
But actually, to that point though, about staying up when travelling, it's my new thing when I go away now, to wake up early, go to bed early.
Whilst you're away?
Yeah, because it was when me and Sophie were in New York, and everywhere we went to in New York was so busy.
Yeah.
We were like, right, we need to get up early and go to places like first thing in the morning. No one was there. Yeah. So you can...
I thought New York was the 24-hour city.
No, it's not. People say it is.
It's not?
People say it is, but I used to live in New York. Do you know that?
Where have you just been on holiday?
LA.
Oh, right, the other side.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know you lived in New York.
Yeah, so I did a summer placement.
Okay.
For 3 months working in New York.
Okay. Doing what?
I was working at a private yacht club.
Okay.
In like upstate New York, so cool. Like not in the city, but
so you're a sailor boy.
Yeah, I was setting up tables and serving drinks and stuff.
Okay.
But I got 2 days off a week to go into New York and check it out, and that was Monday and Tuesday. Not a lot goes on Monday and Tuesday. People say New York is a city who never sleeps, but
they're fucking lying.
There's certainly naps on a Monday.
Fair enough. That's a good idea to get up, and because often I hate that on holidays. You have a big night out and you get home early hours of the morning, smashed, and then you sleep until like 11:30, 12, and you've just wasted half your day of your holiday. You sleep at home.
Maybe this is me maturing.
Yeah.
I'm now like, get up early, see stuff, and get back to the hotel. You know, usually, there's hotels with a random TV channels. You usually got a film on there like 9, 10 o'clock.
Sleeps.
And then you're up fresh, 5, 6 o'clock.
Best thing about holiday, you can't get hangovers.
You can't, or you don't.
You can't. And physically, I don't understand how anyone can get a hangover on holiday. Because the moment you wake up, you have another beer, jump in the pool, get out of the pool, and you're refreshed. You're ready to go again.
Yeah, it is a different vibe, isn't it? On holiday,
you can't get hangovers. If you do get hangovers, then you're not a very good drinker, and you're on the wrong holiday. Right, you call that a wrap, shall we?
Cool. All right,
close us out, my friend.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone again for your attention for our half an hour of rambling. We'll be back next week because we are staying consistent. As always, you can find us on your social media platform of choice. Fire us your questions, send us your love. See you next week. Love you, bye.
Cheers, guys.